What's going on, guys? It's Logan, and I'm here with my amazing co-host.
Braden Noble.
And welcome to Actors POV.
POV.
Yes, sir. Episode 3, bro. I'm feeling good,
Episode
dog.
3.
Dude, I'm so ready to
too.
get into this, bro. It's gonna be awesome. How you doing today, though, bro? How you feeling on this beautiful week?
I was telling you a little bit about it earlier, but I've had a pretty good week. Some pretty big W's. We talked about them last week, but this week I was back on set again. I did a project with Full Sail, so yeah, no, I had a really good day actually. What about you, man?
You know, it's hold on, I gotta fix my mic real quick. Okay, there we go. Love the technical difficulties in the middle of the episode. Exactly. It's all going good, brother. Everything is going good here. We're filming this on a Friday, so we won't be able to talk about the box office too much. Even though that new Magic Mike movie came out and had a really good Friday opening. I got the Friday numbers right here. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second, because we're pretty excited about that movie, obviously. So yeah, man, it's going good, brother. We're out chilling, having a good time. The fair is in town, so that's pretty hype,
dude,
bro.
I didn't even
Osceola
know.
County Fair. Yeah, dude, we gotta hit that up, bro. Let's go do it,
Dude.
man.
Might do a live little podcast.
Yo, we could do a vlog, bro.
Vlog.
Dude, let's do
There
it,
you
bro.
go.
Let's do
Post
it.
to the channel.
For real. So yeah, I'm feeling good. The fair is always nostalgic because I grew up showing animals there and stuff. So like, I just like walking around and seeing, I see everybody there, dude. Everybody I grew up with. So it's always really weird, And like with me, bro, when it comes to socializing, like I love to socialize, love to talk to people. But if I see someone in public and I'm not expecting it, I'm so awkward,
like,
bro.
oh, wow.
I'm so awkward. I don't know if that's just me. It's weird, bro. I'm always like, it's really strange. So, but if I'm like reaching out to you and I'm like, bro, can we have lunch or something? It's like, it's fine. It's a normal conversation. We have a good time.
And it's chill.
Because I know what I'm getting myself into. But when I just see someone random in public, I kind of freak out. So it's kind of weird.
I'm the same way, yo, low key. Depending on the person.
Yeah, it's like if like my best friend and we're
down.
chilling. But even like even some like my good friends, bro, like it's still kind of weird. I don't know. It feels off. But yeah, everything's going good over here, man. Everything's going good over here.
That's
so
fantastic, man.
Yeah. You want to kind of tell everybody what we're gonna be doing today?
Yeah, so we're gonna start off with our amazing movie review, and we're very excited for this one. And I actually have to thank Elijah Temple for this idea. Yeah, it's
my guy Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah, you coming in clutch, man. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once. We didn't have the opportunity to see it together, but we still watched it. Then we're gonna follow it up with some actor news, and then finish it off with how we approach a scene, kind of like our little template on how we go about auditions and going about reading and script analysis and all that yada yada yada. So
yes sir. Yeah, this is probably going to be one of my favorite episodes, dude. Obviously this is only our third one, so it doesn't really mean a lot, but no, it's going to be pretty exciting. Also, I just want to take this moment before we dive into the movie review. Sorry, I keep burping. Thank you guys so much for the support.
Absolutely,
I was going to tell Braden here, I haven't told him yet, but we've gone up like 4 views today alone on Spotify. Not on YouTube's always going up, but Spotify we've gone up to 4 new listeners today, which is unreal. And I haven't even posted about it, dude. I haven't posted anything. So I posted the whale review a couple days ago on YouTube, but not anything today or yesterday. So the support's amazing. Thank you guys so much. I mean,
we appreciate that.
What we love to see. We love doing this. We love coming on here and talking and doing this, bro. So we're getting there, and support's pretty consistent. So
taking it day by day.
Man. Really, and thank you guys. I just wanted to kind of take that moment and say we're really appreciative of y'all, and just thank you so much. It makes us feel special. We feel special,
We do feel special. I get a little tingle in my heart.
Just a little tingle.
In my heart.
Yeah, so we're gonna do our little analysis, our little 1 minute kind of thing, kind of like we did with the whale. Braden, I'll let you go first this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna read off the synopsis and the cast.
Oh yeah, go for that.
So, the synopsis is: when an interdimensional rupture unravels reality, an unlikely hero must channel her newfound powers to fight bizarre and bewildering dangers from the multiverse as the fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Yo, that sounds insane. Like,
intense,
that sounds
dude. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'll just go over pretty much our leads. We have Michelle. I don't want to butcher this, but Michelle Yao,
Mm-hmm.
Ki-Hu Kwan, Stephanie Sue, and then Jamie Lee Curtis, and then James Hong. I feel like those were the big names of the movie.
Dude,
Sorry if I
I
butchered a few of
literally
those.
had those down on my piece of paper, like those exact same ones in that order. So look at
Yeah,
us, bro. Look at us.
there you go,
Uh,
man.
yeah, dude, this cast. Oh, we'll get into it in the pros, but oh my god, did they kill it? Did they kill
Killed
it,
it.
bro? I mean, I thought the whale and the whale acting was obviously amazing in that film, but this movie just felt more complete when it comes to the characters. Like they just each. Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about this movie, bro. I literally cannot wait. It's unreal. It's unreal. Um, so yeah, so that's a synopsis. That's what the movie's about. It's like a multiverse type of thing. You jump. It's like a multiverse.
And it definitely
thing.
catches
I
you
don't
off
know.
guard. Like I didn't know anything about the movie beforehand. I opened this movie and I saw something about the multiverse. I was like, "What the hell?" I'm telling you, like 20 minutes in, you wouldn't think it's just like a normal
Yeah.
movie, and then out of nowhere, things switch up so quick. And I think that's what I really like a lot about it.
Which I told you in the whale, the one thing that I guess kind of ruined it for me is it wasn't engaging. This
Yeah.
movie engaged every single person that watched it, whether you liked the way it went or whether you didn't like the direction it went. It engaged you, bro. And
Oh yeah.
I'll get into what engaged me early on. It's actually a very subtle thing that they put in there that you're supposed to see as a viewer, but it wasn't what I thought would get me into it, and it did, and it really
Oh yeah.
did. But yeah, man, yeah. Let's just. I'm ready to just dive into
Yeah,
it,
let's
bro.
go.
Go ahead and do your little analyst real quick.
So I'm gonna start off with this, and this is I told Logan this in a voice message earlier, but as soon as I'm not gonna lie to you, I cried. I cried watching this movie. I think I would have cried. I told Logan I think I would have cried watching The Whale if he wasn't there. But I definitely cried watching this movie. And the last, I'll even go 20, 25 minutes had me extremely emotional because as we talked about it in the last episode, I am such a big theme guy. And this movie resonates with me so hard. The way I look at life, the way I value things, like spot on. And I'm gonna say it right here. Ballsy prediction, it's best picture. Best picture. Hate me or not, I don't care. I don't care. Best picture.
We do not
It
care.
was we do not care. It was so good. Like when I say like new top 5, it sits there as like one of those movies that changes like how I look at things. Like I actually wanted, if I didn't have things to do today, I probably would watch it again right away. Like I was like giggling at the end. My parents were like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I'm infatuated right now." Um, I'll make a quick point on the theme. It's really, I feel like, a lot about appreciating what you have and then always thinking you'd want more. But at the end of the day, we come back and sometimes just being with that 1 to 2 people, that family that you love, is always going to be more important, more special than going out there. Nothing matters. You know what I mean? We're all little rocks and one giant rock, and none of this matters. Nothing in this life matters. What you do doesn't matter. And just
It
you
doesn't
shouldn't
matter.
care. Here's my thing. This is a big thing I have. It doesn't matter and you shouldn't care, but if you do, everything matters. If that makes sense, it will resonate with you so hard. It doesn't matter, but if it does, everything matters.
Which
You
is
know what I
not
mean?
good. Which is not
And
good
it's not
because then
good.
you
But
just
make
you
the
get
best, always make the best of the worst situation, man.
right,
That's what I got from it, man.
dude.
Really touching.
Spot on. I felt the same exact way. That's the exact same themes I got from the film. I do have a big con in this movie, so let me just kind of go through my
Okay.
little short thing. This movie,
Give it up for Logan Allen.
yeah, how y'all doing today? This is a film that I think is beautiful. I enjoyed it way more than The Whale. I thought it was way more engaging than The Whale. There's a point.
Definitely was.
Oh yeah. There's a point at the beginning of the movie, like I said, that does engage me. And I'm gonna get to that in the pros, more specifically. The cast was unreal. This is a really
Unreal.
unreal. Such a hard.
And I want to
movie
just make
to-
a quick comment.
Uh-huh.
And all like Asian supporting cast, phenomenal. Great choice. Like it was perfect. And I love how, it was bilingual. You had a little bit of everything. Like I love those movies. I don't know if you saw the Steven Yeun one. I'm a big fan of him because I love The Walking Dead.
Same here.
But Steven Yeun got nominated for an Oscar. I think it was 2 years ago. It was a year or 2 years ago. It was either Rami Malek's year or Joker's year. But I think it was Joker's year. He got nominated for an Oscar, and I was kind of like rooting for him. You know what I mean? Because I love him.
yeah.
But this movie really like it blew my socks off, and I love the cast. I love the cast.
Oh,
Didn't even think
100%.
Jamie Lee Curtis was Jamie Lee Curtis for a second there.
Yeah. No, Jamie, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm a big Halloween fan. You guys know this. So
Yeah.
you know, seeing Laurie Strode on screen is always the best. And yeah, she was really, really good in this movie. I'm a big Jamie Lee Curtis fan. You know, not only from Halloween, but from Prom Night. You know, Freaky Friday. There's a lot of good movies she's in, and she did incredible in this.
Yep.
And really did her part. And like I said, the thing that really stood out to me about this cast was this is a movie that you're playing so many different personalities, and but they somehow kept the staple of the character. It was so
I
weird.
know,
and
dude.
I could, dude, I don't know how they did that. That's not just the actors, that's also the directors, the writers that had to make that. It was, people don't understand how hard that is. They don't know, and people don't understand how hard it is not only to do that, but keep the character that you're doing consistent. Like when I do Sweet Magnolias, I'm 3 seasons in. Hopefully 4. We'll see what happens. Go support season 3 when it comes out.
Go
It,
support
please.
season 3.
Go
support.
You got to, bro. From season to season, you know, we have like a year and a half break in between seasons, a year break. It's so hard to keep the consistency of the character because he's growing, but at the same time, you got to keep the staple of that character, keep him grounded. These actors and actresses did it perfect, and it's unreal, man. Like you said, I love the bilingual. I think it adds to it, makes it so much more interesting. And yeah, Michelle who plays Evelyn was unreal. Love her from everything that she does.
Unreal.
Crazy Rich Asians. Have you seen that?
I want her to win. I haven't seen it. I've seen I think like the last half. I walked in on it at a friend's house and I ended up watching the ending, like the wedding scene and stuff.
Go watch it.
But
Go watch it. She is unreal in
movie.
that as well. And a phenomenal film. You know, if you love a good Asian cast like this, that's where you need to go. Beautiful movie. Love it. Great.
And if
This
they're like
movie was better
Korean,
though.
I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? If I'm
I don't know. I don't think they're Korean.
I was like, I don't want to
No.
be getting the wrong thing here.
No, I was calling it. Yeah, I don't think they're Korean. But yeah, unreal stuff.
Man.
And then seeing James Hong in there, bro, the guy from
Dude,
Kung Fu Panda, and
took
like
me off guard.
bro, he's such a legend. He has he's been acting consistently since the '60s, and it's crazy.
Man.
But anyway, let me finish up my thing. I'm like 5 minutes in. No, you're good. It's me. I'm rambling on. But the one thing that really got me, I'm going to expand on this, is this movie is a drama, a comedy, a thriller, a sci-fi movie, martial arts movie. It's every single genre you can think of, a romance movie. They don't keep a stable tone throughout the movie. And that's what gets me, because I feel like in some scenes I'm supposed to be laughing, but I'm not. In some scenes, I'm like the Rock scene, I'm supposed to be crying, but I'm not. And it was because I didn't know what I was feeling. I didn't know what I was supposed to be feeling, because there's so many different genres, and that can work. Like a big example is Click, Adam Sandler's Click. Funny movie, but then you get to the end, you cry every time. But it works. It works because even though it's two totally different emotions in laughing and crying, it works for me because the transition, it might be very, very quick and abrupt, but the story doesn't lose what it's supposed to be. It stays true to what it is, and it's not out there, if that makes sense. This movie just felt a little all over the place with the tone, and if they had one or maybe 2 or 3 different genres, you know, maybe like it was a drama, a comedy, or action, comedy, and drama, then it'd be okay. But when you throw in martial arts, when you throw in an emotional film, and like I said, sci-fi, all this stuff, like it was too much for me. And it didn't really resonate in those big moments because of that. And I'll dive into that in a minute. But just because of the tone, it threw me off. But in turn, it ruined some of the emotional moments. But other than that, this movie's incredible. I'll get into it in a minute in my pros, but I love that they took an idea of time travel and made it fresh. A fresh idea.
They really did.
So, and all the people that say Hollywood doesn't have original ideas, watch this movie. The Daniel brothers who directed it know their stuff. They're incredible. Unreal. Go watch some of the other stuff. They know how to make a story and make an original story and make it unique. And it doesn't always work, but it works in this movie, and it works in a lot of their movies. Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. So, all right.
So what do you want to open up with? Pros or cons?
Oh, we need to go cons, because I think there's less cons for sure. Yeah, so let's just dive into cons. I'll let you go first, because I know you might only have one.
Yeah, I don't really know.
If that.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like doing too much thinking. I really don't have cons for this movie. Um, I guess if I could think of something, it is the fact like I can, in a way, it's really weird because when you were saying your idea, I actually like I agree and disagree because I actually really like the fact that it's all over the place. It feels very different from normal movies, and I think that's what got me. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't feel like I felt like it was very unexpected at every moment, and usually I can predict everything in the film.
Which is what the
So
movie's
like,
supposed to be about. So I see what you're saying.
yeah,
It
right.
follows the movie. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But at the same time, I do definitely like I finished it and I had to say to myself like, I want to watch this a second time, but I also need to watch it a second time. Like, you know what I mean? Like The
Dude,
Whale,
bro, that's
I
exactly.
love The Whale,
Oh,
but
oh
you
my
don't
God.
really need to watch that the second time.
You
But
want to
this
watch
one
it.
you
You
do.
don't need to. Dude, I said the
Yes.
exact same.
This
Dude,
one you need both. It's both.
I'm so Braden. I swear to God, we have the same brain. I said the exact
this is why you're
same
my brother,
thing.
man.
Exactly.
This is why you my brother from another mother, man.
Dog, I literally said the exact same thing. I was like, I wanted to watch The Whale, but this movie, I needed to watch it again.
Need to watch it again.
And I'll get into it in a minute. What I felt because I did watch it this morning again.
Because I think
minutes.
there's a big part of like you're focusing on all of the main things, and like there are small things in the side. Like, you know what I mean? Like I did with The Whale last week. I do a little synopsis research, and I was looking at some like little hidden stuff, and like they have a little few. I only got a few minutes in because I wasn't trying to watch that. I was more looking for other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I saw it, and I was like, wow, they really like plan a lot. Like they were talking about the black hole, like the laundromat at the very beginning of the movie, and this is a spoiler, everyone. Spoiler alert. At the beginning of the movie
came out last year, so yeah.
Yeah, right. If you haven't seen it,
come on now.
You know, I don't know why it took us so long, but if you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it. In the very beginning of the movie, she's looking. They have the laundromat. She's looking in the laundromat at this. It's black, dark hole with just the clothes tossing, and it's really to foreshadow the future of the movie when they talk about the bagel with a black hole, and the ending with the black hole. And I thought that was really crazy. I'm like, in the first 5 minutes, they literally like talk about the end, how Evelyn faces the black hole and sees her life fading away into it, and at the end she has to pull herself out of it. And I think that's a big thing that I actually really liked about her and Joy. Whereas her dad, she actually ends up becoming more like her dad than she thinks, where she resents him a lot for letting her go. She has to do the same at the end for Joy, or she knows she'll lose Joy forever, because her trying to force Joy to stay around after the whole incident, it's causing that strain on a relationship. But when she finally like, that was another big theme, putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Like I do that every day in my life with every single person, even the cashier I talk to when I order a coffee. Like,
wait, one thing. What kind of coffee you order? This is important.
So, fun fact, this is going to be crazy to everybody. I don't really drink it that often, so when I just go, I like look at the menu, I'm like, that looks good.
Dude, you got to get a
usually
mocha,
always
bro.
like iced.
Yeah, ice is the way. Yeah, I always get an iced mocha, bro. That's it. I
get a frappuccino a lot.
That's respectable. You
know what? I got a freaking dark cold brew, and was like a cream foam layer on top.
Oh, yo, yeah, it went from Starbucks.
No, it's Dunkin'.
Okay, Dunkin's the way to go. Dunkin'. Starbucks has this. We're getting off track, but Starbucks has this weird like taste. You know what I mean? You know that weird taste that it has. Like it's like a kick. Like I know Dunkin's probably cheaper and more unhealthy, but I don't care, dude. It tastes better. I don't really care. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Anyway, this is cons, so don't go too far into that right now.
You're right.
You got to stay true. But I see what you're saying.
But yeah, I think it gets off. I guess you can see where it gets off track a little bit, but it's the fact of it's a pro and a con needing to watch it again. You know what I mean? That's about it. Okay. You got to watch it again to really grasp it. So, but I mean, in my eyes, it is a pro, but I can consider it a con, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. So with me, like I said, it was.
I know. I almost wanted you to start because I really wanted to hear this.
Yeah, and you can always rebuttal, and we could talk. So when I first watched this movie last night or this morning at 1:00 in the morning, I was sitting there and I was
at 9.
Yeah, bro, I was sitting there and I was like, number one, I texted you in the middle of it. I was like, what the hell am I watching? I was like, I feel like I just like ate a crap ton of shrooms. You know what I mean? And then as the story progresses, it starts to open up a little bit. And you're like, oh, wow, wow, wow. But then at the end, like I said, I stopped watching and I was like, something's off. I didn't know what it was. I don't want to talk about it because we'll get to the pros. I loved so many different aspects. Some of the best displays of those different aspects I've ever seen in any film. And we'll get to that in a second. Martial arts. It was, I was like, I really, really love the movie, but I'm not crazy about it. So what's stopping me from getting there? You know what I mean? So it was 1 o'clock in the morning, so I went to sleep, because I had to wake up early this morning. I had to run some errands and stuff. That's exactly what I did. Woke up, did some stuff, went to Walmart, all the fun St. Cloud stuff we do. And then saw some, crazy people. And then, when I got back, I was like, all right, yeah, that's St. Cloud. Never know what you're going to run into. Dude, there was a guy on, one of those like really small, like bikes, those little motorbikes, but the really, really like miniature ones.
God.
Going down 192, bro. In one of those things. Anyway, by the way, 192 is a big like highway road here in St. Cloud, and it was going like 30 miles an hour. I was like, this is not good.
That's crazy.
But anyway, dude, I love this town so much. When I got back, I was like, all right, I need to watch just the first 30, 40 minutes and let this process. When I first got back, I watched reviews. Because usually when I watch reviews, it helps me kind of open up my thoughts. I don't copy what other people are saying, but you know what I mean? It helps like kind of you figure out what you feel and what you're thinking. Helps those ideas formulate. That didn't help at all, which never happens. I usually know my...
Really?
Dude, I was in the same exact place. I was like, what is happening to me right now? And then I watched the first 30, I think it was probably first 42 minutes, I think is what it was exactly. And I sat there and I was like, holy shit, I know what it is. It was because, once again, like I said earlier, there were so many different tones. And it went from one to the other that I couldn't grasp on one moment. Because I remember thinking, I was like, for some reason, I'm really intrigued in this moment, but then not intrigued here. And then I'm intrigued again, then I'm not intrigued here. Is because in those moments I was intrigued, I knew the tone it was going for. In the other moments, I didn't know what the tone was. So I wasn't intrigued as much. Tone is everything in a movie. And Braden can attest to this. And every actor and producer and director and whatever it is, and writer can attest to that. Mood and tone is everything in a movie. Whether that's the lighting, whether that's the audio levels, whether that's the camera, cinematography, whatever it is, the mood and tone is what makes or breaks a movie, especially in horror. And this movie had a thriller and horror element to it. It was just, the tone was all over the place for me. And because of that, I couldn't connect with the film in some aspects. So that's the one thing that got me. So I actually rewatched, like I said, the first 42 minutes, and that's what helped me out. Like you said, I noticed a lot of fun little things at the beginning that were kind of like foreshadowing, whether that's or just kind of like watching the beginning when she's first introduced to the Waymond from the Alphaverse or whatever. Like you notice the weird things and you put two and two together. It's fun. It's a fun little puzzle basically. And you guys know how that is when you watch like a plot twist movie. You put little pieces together and they show things. That's exactly what the Daniel brothers did. They're not the Daniel brothers. They're called the Daniels. It's exactly what they did. They did an incredible job with it. But I just once again did not feel. Just it felt off. It felt off, and I didn't know why. And then I watched it, and it was the pace, not necessarily the pacing, but the tone. I thought it was the pacing. I thought it might have been the pacing. I was like, dude, the pacing is terrible in this movie. And then I went back and watched it. I was like, no, the pacing's actually okay. And it does jump a little bit, but that's because this movie is everything everywhere all at once. Multiverses are involved, multiverse jumping.
I was gonna say
you're flipped out. So I understand why, in your opinion, you're like, oh, well, that's what the movie's supposed to be about. You're right. That's probably what they were going for.
It got what it went for. Yeah.
Right. But it's a double-edged sword. Mm-hmm. That's what it was going for. But then what about the tones and people like me? Mood and atmosphere and tone. Big shout out to my boy Dave McCrae, the YouTuber. He always goes, mood and atmosphere. That's exactly what it was. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big mood and atmosphere and tone kind of guy. So that's probably my biggest thing, actually, and engagement. And that's what tone and atmosphere is. It engages me. That's when we did the review for The Whale. I always talked about engagement. It's because the tone is a big part of that engagement. Yeah. And this movie, the tone didn't, even though this movie was so good in other aspects, I was still engaged. But the tone, didn't keep me consistently engaged.
I can see what you're
But does
saying
that
though,
make
because you
sense?
go
But there
from
was
like a
bright
love
moments.
scene straight into a freaking fight scene.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to get super intimate when you see a karate kick coming straight for their jaw as they're about to kick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I do get what you're saying.
And not even that, but like you still felt you can jump from one scene to the other like that. We've seen plenty of movies do that. A lot of Marvel movies, superhero movies do that. And that's basically what this was. This was basically what Marvel really wants to do. You know what I mean? They want to have a movie like this. That's exactly what it was. It was beautiful, beautiful superhero movie in a way, kind of a superhero movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so where was I going with that? Dang it, what was I saying? I just totally lost track.
Superhero movies.
No, before that.
I don't know.
Dang it,
I know
bro.
I heard something in my house and I was like
Yeah,
freaking out.
I saw that too, and that's what kind of threw me off. Oh man, dang it. Everybody listening's like
Yeah, I do
screaming at me
apologize.
right now. No, you're good,
Sorry,
you're good.
guys.
Dang it. No, oh no, sorry. So I've seen that happen before with the scenes jumping from like one thing to the other and the tones being way off.
Yes.
But with this movie, for some reason, you felt the tone of the previous scene, of the previous sequence that was still kind of like luring in that area and like luring on screen. So that's the one thing that took me out of it. It's okay if you go from one tone to the other, one scene from the other like that pretty abruptly. That's fine. I'm a big fan of movies that do that, but and like horror movies have comedy, right? But they go from a funny scene to someone getting their head cut off, but you don't feel the previous tone dragging itself into this scene, the next scene. That's what this movie did. So next time you watch it, kind of think about that, and you might realize that. And once again, you might have the same thought or same idea of or perspective of that's what the movie's supposed to be, but I don't like when it lures and overshadows the tone that's supposed to be there. It doesn't allow that tone to build up. That's why some movies need to take a breather, and a breathing moment is so important because it gives some space in between the tones. The Whale, in my opinion, gave too many breathers and didn't have enough big moments. And it allowed those tones to be set, but then you got bored of those tones and you wanted something new and fresh. That's why I always said, give me something to grab onto, because there's nothing there. And I was in this one tone setting and I need to feel something. This
somewhere
movie,
else, yeah.
Right. And this movie,
there needs to be somewhere you can go.
It's so funny that we did these movies back to back because they're polar opposites. I went from not feeling anything to wanting to feel something to feeling every emotion possible. So it's so funny we did these movies back to back. It's actually really poetic. But that's my biggest con, man, is the pacing and how it jumps from one not the pacing, but how it jumps from one tone to the other, and how the tones lure over the entire thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I get what you're saying. That's phenomenal take.
Yeah. That's just kind of what I was feeling. But it's so funny that I actually had to rewatch it because, like I said, I usually will just take time and I'll usually watch reviews and I'll be okay. But I've never felt this way with any movie ever. Congratulations, Daniels. You screwed me up mentally. I didn't know what was happening. And even after I watched it, I feel like I was still watching the movie with everything going on. And it took me that long to really let the ideas formulate. And I don't even think the ideas are even formulated now. I really don't. I think I have to watch the entire movie again. And really the ending especially, because the ending I feel like I missed a lot and I need to definitely watch it again. And it's probably a movie that you can watch 5 times and still miss a crap ton toward the end.
I was going to say, I feel like I misunderstood the beginning more than the ending.
In what sense?
I was just like, where I feel I was more like, where you felt throughout the movie, that's where I felt at the beginning. Like for the first 40 minutes, I was like, we go from like the first 20 minutes of a normal movie, then we start introducing the multiverse stuff, and I feel like, not that it was rushed, but it all happened so quick, and then I was like, what the hell? But then once I got an idea of what was happening, then I was like, everything like started clicking together. You know what I mean? I'm
the exact opposite. The first hour of this movie. It's so funny because that's why I love this podcast. We have such different takes. The first hour of this movie is one of the best crafted movies. It probably top 10 movie for me.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah.
But then after that, once they did start introducing the verse stuff or whatever, you know, you go from guys jumping on, you know, butt plugs to hot dog fingers to rocks. It's like, what what are we doing? Like, it was so, and I understand why it's abrupt, but you still feel the tones from the scene before that.
Yeah.
Dude, once they showed the hot dog fingers, that's all I could think about the rest of the freaking movie. That was it. I just thought of like hot dog finger. Like, it was weird. And like, they were sitting there talking as rocks, and I'm like, bro, are they like raw hot dogs? I was just thinking, like, it was so weird. Like, I don't know why, bro. It was just so strange. And that's the one thing that got me, is the tones didn't go over. But that's basically the main cons for me. And it's so funny that we have different takes on that, because the first hour, and dude, I was glued to the screen, and then after that, they kind of lost me a little bit, and that's when I kind of sat back against my bed and kind of laid down a little bit and kind of just enjoyed it instead of really engaging with it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, the first hour, I was sitting up watching it, like, straight up engaged.
Yeah. You know what's really funny? That rock scene, I think I already said this, that rock scene was totally my favorite. Like, actually, crazily, like, artistically, my favorite scene.
Especially when she starts moving toward her.
I loved it. Yeah. Like,
okay, before let's dive into the pros then, so we can make this a little more organized. This podcast isn't organized at all. Yeah. So yeah, let's go to. Who cares? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, let's go to pros, man. Let's keep going with that theme. The rock stuff. Yeah, I love when she moved toward it. It was so like. Once again, I understood it and I felt it, but I was still thinking about hot dog fingers and glizzies. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
So like,
I totally understand.
What? Like, I don't know, bro.
I totally understand. I have some themes that I actually came up with, that I got from it.
Let's hear them.
Yeah. So I already went over make the best out of a bad situation. I think you should do that in life, and anything you do, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they kind of did. And I was actually talking with my mom. It's really reflective, because a big comment for me that they made in the movie is that this Evelyn is pretty much the worst reality of all of the Evelyns. All of the Evelyns went on to accomplish, like, high and mighty things and actually become super successful. But this Evelyn didn't. And I think that's what made for such an interesting character to take the helm. And I also think it makes it really interesting when you look back at Waymond's character. In every universe, he was always there. He always came back. You know what I mean? And then the only one was that Glizzy universe. And from that, when I was watching a video earlier, I actually really resonated with this one. It was kind of like a big thing about this movie is perspective, the way you look at perspectives. And it's like, you could hate someone and you could want the worst for them. You could want them to die. Pardon my French. But if you change your perspective on the outlook,
movie, that was great.
Pardon my French.
That was great.
Yeah. If you change your perspective on things, the entire situation can change. You know what I mean? And I thought that was so interesting. And a big part of Waymond's character was that he was a very, like, he wasn't pathetic like Charlie was in The Whale, but he was a little bit naive, and he was trying to be this little, almost like a jester. And it's admirable because he's always trying to put on the best front for everyone and give them a good mood, but at the same time he gets taken advantage of for that. But in Evelyn's perspective, she starts to change and she realizes, like, I don't have to fight. I need to fight like Waymond, fight very friendly. And that was another big theme for me. Like, the good will always beat the evil. It's always going to triumph. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look at this right now. Yeah. They ended up changing sides practically. She thought that he was, like I said, naive, and then she becomes the naive one herself, looking at the positives. But
love that character development, by the way. Unreal.
Love it.
Unreal. And they kept the structure of the character. That's not the word I'm looking for, but they kept the essence, there we go, of the character, but they let it develop. I'd love to see that. Oh my God, it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Insane stuff. I'll keep letting you go, because this is kind of your segment for pros, so keep going.
No, yeah, I only got like one or two more things. But I think one thing that was interesting is, out of all the possibilities, you know what I mean, and no matter how much Evelyn and Joy were on like different ends, and even Evelyn and Waymond were on different ends, they all at the end would rather be a low-income American family with tax problems than be movie stars or kung fu masters or chefs, because that's what matters in life. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter about getting all the glam and glory. It's about finding, true people and having true intentions and just getting that in life, because a lot of people don't. And that leads back to my biggest point of this whole film, and I think they touched on it perfectly at the end. This is really why I started crying. It's like nothing matters, really. And I don't mean that in like a super bad way. I know a lot of people, including my mom, like she thinks I mean it in like a very saddening way, but truly nothing matters, The significance that we put on such belittling and stupid, small, toxic topics is just so stupid. Like, you should be concerned with what's in front of you and appreciate that, and malnourish all of the things you can from that before it's gone, because then you have a life of resentment because of that. And that's what shows. At first, Evelyn was like, she tells Wayman straight to his face, she was like, my life was so fantastic without you. Like every life I had that you weren't with me, it was amazing.
So cold.
And then he's freaking heartbroken. He's destroyed. He's destroyed. And this is something I want to touch on. He asked for a divorce. I actually realized watching the movie, I had to go back a little bit too. He doesn't ask for a divorce because he wants one. He's making the point that she never would sit down and acknowledge something unless it was important and it was crazy. Like, they have 1 week before the whole place gets taken away. She won't listen unless he finally is like, we have a week and we're gone. Then he puts divorce papers in front of her, not because he wants a divorce, just so he can get her attention. And that's the whole perspective. You don't realize, like, Wayman's character throughout the movie is I love him because he's just like, he's the horse, man. He's the freaking horse that carries, the rider on his back.
He carries the movie. And let me just insert here for a second, bro. I back to that scene where she breaks his heart. In the midst of all the tone changes, like I said, that threw me off. The one line that really hit me, and that when he said this line, when Wayman said this line out loud, I said, "Wow!" Like, it was a gut punch. He said, "So even though you broke my heart again, I wanted to say in another life, I would have really liked just doing laundry and taxes with you."
Yes, with you.
Bro.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
I got emotional
it's
from that one.
Such a simple line. And even, dude, and what's good, like I said, when in the midst of all the tone changes, I wasn't really feeling it and engaged. That line, dude, really, really hit me. And I think it's because Wayman's a character that I just love to death. And like you said, when they first walk into the IRS building, he looks over at the old Asian couple, and you could just see in his face, which, by the way, big shout out to Ki. Is it Ki Kwan?
One? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I'll call him Ki. By the way, Goonies guy, Indiana Jones, my guy. Anyway, he amazing debut. 30 years after 40 years, he came back and killed it. I loved his character so much, man. He did such a good job with it. And when that camera pans to his face after he sees the old Asian couple, you see pain, hurt, that he still loves this lady, but she doesn't. She might love him, but I don't even know that really. She just doesn't have the time. She doesn't take the time.
The problems of her life. Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, she has no time because of all of her problems. She's so self-focused on her own things.
Is a big theme. You know what I mean? Appreciate what you have. And when he said that line, that theme, like, just
hit me, bro.
Hit me in the face. Like, just Mike Tyson right there, bro. I was like, oh my God, I love this movie. So the more I talk about it, I think the more I watch, this is a movie that I think, and there's not a lot of movies like this for me. The more I watch it, the more I'm going to love it. And so what we should do, Braden, is every year we should do a top 10 movies list in January. And just to see what films, because we're going to watch a crap ton of movies. We're watching at least one movie every week. That's 50 movies a year.
Great idea right here on the potty. We do one at the beginning of the year for all the movies upcoming on what we think is going to be the top 10. At the end of the year, do the top 10, see how close we thought, and see how accurate we were.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Because you see the new releases and stuff, and see if any actually get up. But yeah, dude, this film, just with the themes, dude. I knew you'd like it too, right? Is that right? You said that line. I'm like, yep, Braden's crying right now.
Dude,
you both feeling it
for real.
And I was feeling it. It was like something was locked inside, and just the themes were like not. The tone wasn't letting it get out. Like that's what was blocking me. So I made the analogy last week of the chum in the water with the sharks and stuff, and how you need I'm the shark.
There's a chum.
Yeah,
this is a chum bucket.
The the boats, exactly, the boats, the movie, and all the people on it are the directors and stuff, and how you have to throw out Chum to bring in the audience. I wanted Chum when it comes to this is such a stupid analogy, when it comes to the whale, but with this movie, there was too much. I'm just gonna stop. Let's just move on to the next thing. So yeah, that's like, it was just this movie, just the theme, bro, that was beautiful. The themes were beautiful. But that's the one I had to cut you off right there, brother, because I had to say that is the one line that hit me so hard, and it was with Waymond's character. And Waymond is just, I fell in love with this character, man. And seeing, spoiler alert, Alpha verse of him die hit me a little bit.
Hit me too.
Yeah.
Well, she even goes to the point where she stabs him at the end, and then it kind of gets like reversed. You know what I mean? That part confused me a little bit because I totally like watched him like, almost die, stabbed him, and then he was okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, bro. What was that? I thought the same thing. I was like, is he still? Right? But you saw the blood too. The blood was still there. I was like, is he falling? Is he getting up?
It was. I know. I don't know where he's like in the way of the people.
Yeah.
We can't. I'm like,
yeah.
This guy's Iron Man.
Yeah, but it was kind of a small glass jar. But if you get stabbed in the stomach, you're gonna be dead. I mean,
or at least like even if it was like this, I feel like they reversed the whole thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was that was a really weird part, but I'll let that pass. This movie was perfect.
I watched it at 9 a.m. when I woke up, so I need to go back and watch it. Obviously.
Yeah, you definitely do. Sleep on it, and like, what I love about this podcast is we do it every week. So we talked about the whale and how our opinions have changed of the whale, and we get to talk about how Everything Everywhere All at Once might have changed next week on next week's podcast. So, which we're probably gonna do Ant-Man as the movie, which would be pretty cool. Pretty happy about that. Yes, sir. A little sneak peek. Y'all know what's up. Just a little bit. But no, so yeah, I'll let you continue what you were saying about his character and everything.
Yeah, no, just to finalize on that topic, like that speech at the end that he gives to the people, and I think that was a big turning point for Evelyn as well. It's like he was preaching about how we just need to love each other, and like, why do we always have to fight? Like, why do you think that is like the necessary way about going about things? And it's just like his character is the epitome of like what gives me faith in humanity. And
which
like,
is what he was supposed to be in the movie. That's exactly what he was symbolizing.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, man, they all deserve some awards. It was so good. And like I said, that ending really touched me. Like the rock scene, that's kind of when they like really first touched on it. But I think the entire last like 25 minutes is all about like nothing really mattering. Evelyn decides to like purposely destroy everything in all of her lives before she twists it around and like makes it right at the end. But it just kind of is a big theme of like none of it matters, and focusing on wanting to be this, you will always forever, if you're here and you always think about how you could have been here, you're gonna feel like you're here. Okay, your mindset's gonna be below basement, and that's a big thing. Is like, don't worry about that, man. You know what I mean?
Sorry to all the people listening on Spotify that weren't able to see that. The little visual.
Yeah, I'm doing 11. It's like a 10 to a 4 to a below basement negative.
Well, actually though, so Spotify released that new update where you can like actually watch podcasts on Spotify. So, but you're probably listening it to your car. You're not able to watch it. But yeah, no, I just had to say that real quick. Just so you're like, what is this guy talking about?
Really sorry.
Yeah.
No. Envision it.
Yeah, exactly. Just imagine our beautiful faces. That's all you got to do. That's it.
But dude, it's like it's up there.
We'll rate it.
Score at the end.
We'll get to it.
Right
I almost said like a 9 something. All right. So no, I want to say something real quick, and I want to expand on this, man. Let's talk about Stephanie Sue, man, as Joy. She was.
I won't even lie to you.
Like might be the star of the movie.
Say the one like I was gonna say most impressive acting to me, maybe. Like the way, because her character was constantly changing emotions. She would go from sobbing to laughing, and she'd be funny, and then she'd go like, "Hey there, partner," and I'm like, "What the hell? You're doing accents? You're doing?" Like,
I don't remember that.
No, like yeah. But you get the
no, I feel it. I feel it. Yeah. No, her wasn't really a character development because she was different versions.
I don't know what she's saying. That's what I was doing. It all in the bagel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She unreal. I forgot the villain name. What's the name of the? I can't remember it. Do you? The villain?
Abba Chewbacca.
Abba, yeah, something like that. I don't know what it was. Something weird. And
it's like Abu Taku or something,
dude,
something like that, man.
So like I said, remember I said earlier how all the characters were different when they did the different multiverse like things or whatever, but they kept the essence of the character. She didn't, but that's okay because that character is not the same character they were until the end. You start seeing her kind of come out a little bit with the rocks and everything like that, which we'll get to that in a second. But she obviously, that Evelyn obviously, forced her into this lifestyle, and that's why she is the way she is. And she has gotten so caught up in experiencing. I mean, dude, if I was experiencing every single moment of every single one of my lives and every single multiverse at every single moment, everything everywhere all at once, I'd probably be crazy too. And she can't do anything about it. She has she's trying to figure out a way to stop it. So she's not the same person she was, not even a little bit until the end. And she played that perfectly. Stephanie's range, bro, unreal. Really, really good. It's my favorite person still in this movie, though, is Waymond, Ke Huy Quan. But gotcha. she really, I think, stood out the most with how different she was.
I agree.
I was not expecting her to be the villain when that was revealed. You probably were surprised too. I was like, what's happening right now? I was like, dude, what? And because they didn't have there was no clues leading up to that at all. And then they did it, and I could not believe it. And she just, the way she went in and out of, and then toward the end you see her character as Joy again, and then she's the villain again, and it was beautiful. And then toward the end, which I said earlier that I'd get to, when everything's kind of taking place in the final act, which actually was my least favorite part of the movie, was the final act, believe it or not. I love the first and second act, and third act I was like, okay. Also, the final 2 chapters were like 10 minutes each. You saw that too, right? You saw that? It was like the first chapter said part 1. I was like, oh, this is cool. Everything. I was like, all right.
It was like part 1 was like an hour and a half. Part 2 was like half an hour. Part 3 was like 15 minutes.
I know. It was so strange. But anyway, toward the end, you start seeing her character kind of, you see a little bit of Joy in that character again. Joy, the emotion, but Joy, the person. And, and she played that so well, bro. I mean, unreal. Like, you don't want to do it too much, but you don't want to do it too little. Stephanie, you're not watching this. You're incredible. The way she played that, dude. I mean, unreal. She needs to be.
I honestly would have even gone to the point and say she could have gotten nominated.
100%. I mean, unreal, man. Did Ke Huy Quan?
Kind of shapped young actors a lot.
Do you know the Oscar nominations this movie got?
It's the most leading the Oscars, has 11. I know.
Oh, that's not good. 1 second.
Key got one. I know.
Oh, he got one. Okay, cool.
He did. Are you looking?
And yeah, I was going to. And then Michelle got one. I know got Best Picture, Best Cinematography. I don't know what it got, but it was unreal. Yeah, it's got a crap ton of awards, and listen, I'm an Elvis stan. Love that movie to death, but this movie deserves a lot. It really does. Oh
my gosh, dude!
And the week before the Oscars, we are going to do our nomination predictions and our predictions on who we think should win, who we think is going to win, stuff like that. So be ready for that.
Dude, they all got nominated. That's insane.
Every single one,
except for
James Hong.
Yes.
Okay, that's yeah.
But
he was barely in it.
Michelle, Stephanie, Jamie, and Ke all got nominated.
That is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh,
dude!
Because Stephanie and Jamie are they're going up against each other. I think Ke wins it. I think he wins Best Supporting.
Wait, Stephanie and Jamie, what nomination is that?
Best Supporting.
But Ke's Best Supporting as well.
Yes, sir.
So there's 3 of them going against each other.
Yeah, but he'll be in male.
Oh, male. Yeah, male. So Stephanie and Jamie Lee, dude, Stephanie deserves that one. Jamie Lee. I love you, Jamie Lee Curtis. Please, I love you.
Yeah.
But
hers was Stephanie, a little more of a lead part.
Yeah. And had more of an emotional impact, I think.
Exactly.
And carried the movie very you didn't really notice it. Kind of under the radar a little bit, but she carried it.
But I 100% carried the movie. Was literally the backbone in the entire movie.
Stephanie, unreal. But Jamie Lee Curtis was great as well. I hope Stephanie wins that though. I don't know who else they're against, but I don't care. That goes to them. And then Hugh Kwan, if he's supporting as well, he deserves it. But
we could go over it right now.
Yeah, go through each one. Oh my gosh,
that's crazy.
Go through each one.
Brendan Gleeson and Barry Keoghan, both for the Banshees of Inisherin. They're both getting.
I need to watch that movie. We need to do that movie, dude. But we won't be able to by the time the Oscars comes out. So we just need to watch it by ourselves and then, or like watch it with each other, whatever we need to do, and then review it after the Oscars because we have a lot of big movies coming out these next few weeks leading up to the Oscars. So we have a movie every week in theaters, I think.
Absolutely, yeah, dude. We were talking about that earlier. I'm super hyped. There's a lot of good movies.
Loaded. And like I said, when the week before, dude, we're gonna go through each nomination, every single one, each character, everything.
So. I won't lie, I am so excited for Mario. Like we're gonna trash on that movie if it's bad. I'm
so nervous.
I keep seeing Chris Pratt. I've seen Chris Pratt every freaking day post on social media how good this movie is gonna be. Oh, I have a different Mario. No, I've heard your voice, bud.
Yeah.
It sounds like the next Jurassic Park. That's all I'm hearing. And if it's not good, I'm gonna rail on you for it.
To be honest, and this is just my opinion on this. When you get back to the movie after this, but I do like a little bit. Like I couldn't listen to the main Mario voice actor of the entire movie. There's no way. I get it's iconic, but it's way too cartoony to listen to for an hour and 30 minutes. I'm sorry. There's no way I could do that. Like video games is fine, but it's just too much. From what I've heard, I've looked into it probably a little more than you have. Like I'm so excited. There's something there, but it's very subtle and it works for me. Like I'm not really worried about the voice. The main thing I'm worrying about with this movie, and I'm so scared, is it's going to be like every other kids movie in the past 5 years where it's so over the top, so cartoonish, almost where it's not enjoyable. Does that make sense? Like it's like it's that stupid comedy. If that makes it like really slapstick.
It is Illuminations though, right?
It is Illumination, and Illumination is known for doing some pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say
Moana, in my opinion, is the last or I guess Coco didn't really have it either, but Moana is probably the last like really grounded movie where there's fun like kid comedy, but it's not like over the top where an adult can't enjoy it. They got to realize there's going to be more adults watching this movie than kids. That's what it's going to be. Kids my age and then 40-year-olds that played that game when they were kids on Nintendo. So don't mess it up. It's only an hour and like 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes, which is unreal. It deserves way more time than that. I expected like a 2-hour movie, but whatever.
Probably be another
one. We'll see. But the trailers have been a little bit on the slapstick side. So the first one was beautiful, but the new trailers are getting a little slapstick. So I'm really cautious now. I'm kind of holding my expectations, but we'll get to that in another episode for sure. But we need to kind of stick with the theme of this, with everything everywhere all at once. Another thing I want to get to, bro, something that this movie did everything beautifully, but the one thing that stood out to me, I'm a huge fan of Jackie Chan. I love old.
You liked that
dude,
too?
I love Asian martial arts movies.
Yeah.
This movie had two of the best.
To him,
oh yeah.
With her being that actor.
And listen, this had two of the best martial arts scenes I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Ever seen. The one with the fanny pack, which was hilarious.
I was just about to say, yep.
And then the next one with like when Michelle Evelyn's fighting the two guys, remember? Right toward the end, kind of close to the third act. It was like late second act, I think.
Was that the butt plug scene?
Bro, I knew right when Jamie Lee Curtis
out swinging 2 dildos.
Dog, when she, oh my god, yeah, dude.
Fucking nunchuck. She comes out with 2 12-inch dildos.
Bro, dude,
maybe 20-inch.
Dude, 100%. No, they were like 30. No, it wasn't Evelyn. It was that was Stephanie.
Joy.
Yeah, that was Joy.
Sorry, I was saying Evelyn. Joy.
Dude,
Joy comes
my
out.
god, that had me. I didn't even laugh. I was just surprised.
She was playing in that moment too was just, but not the most like
serious,
straight face,
dude.
like swinging 30-inch dildos.
And then you'd go to something super serious and go back to funny. So that's the big problem. They didn't stick with this movie is like I said, it's so goofy, but then it's so serious, and I hate that. Stick with one,
like
please.
15 minutes of like relaxed time to like
exactly
in between everything.
Right. But then you ruin the pacing and the quickness of what the movie's supposed to be. So it's a double-edged sword. Like I said, the Daniel brothers, I think, did the best possible version of this movie. It's just, do you make a... I feel like this has more of an upside than those little breathing areas would. I feel like, from what I've seen, more people will love this movie than feel how I feel. I haven't seen one person actually have the feeling I have on this movie. Not one. I'm sure they're out there. But there are bad reviews of this movie, but none of them say. I know, who's this dude? Yeah, this is gonna be Braden's podcast after this. Braden's POV.
Braden's POV.
Yeah, he's not here anymore. So yeah, that's it. I think this had more of an upside, this version of the movie. But yeah, that's the one thing that kind of ruined it. But it had some really funny moments, some really sad moments, some really emotional moments, and I just didn't really get to feel all of them. But no, those two martial arts scene, bro, the way that they were just choreographed and they had humor in them.
Really, yeah.
But they felt right, and some of the best fighting scenes, like I said, I've seen.
I was gonna say, it's super impressive that they were all like. Of course, maybe certain scenes there were stunt doubles, but you could tell a lot of the scenes it was them choreographing those fights. Like,
oh no, what I mean? Dude, Michelle and Kiyu Kwan, they both are known for their skills in fighting. Most of that was real. That was really them, especially Kiyu Kwan. So I'm butchering his name. I know it. When he took his big hiatus, that 30-year break or whatever, he was still in the movie industry. He just wasn't on camera because of how they treated Asian actors back in the day. It was actually pretty sad how he stopped, being in the movies.
Actors round.
Yeah, it's messed up. But and Crazy Rich Asians is actually what got him back into it, bro. Believe it or not, that movie's actually what got him into it, which Michelle Yeoh was part of. But anyway, in his big hiatus, he worked behind the camera. He was I think a producer. He was also a stunt guy. So he was known for the martial arts stuff. So he worked on that. And it showed off, and it paid off in this film. I mean, I want to see him in more. I want to see every single person on this cast in more stuff.
In more.
And
so much more.
In more. And you know what's crazy? Open the door. And
Stop, no. Oh my god, I just saw a video on that today. Open the door. Open the door.
Jesus, dude. I'm sorry you guys gotta listen to us. But even Jamie Lee Curtis, dude, someone who's been around for 40 years, has been around literally for 43 years, 44 years, delivers one of her best performances to this day. One of her best performances to this day. And she's been in Freaky Friday. Don't give me that look. Freaky Friday, Halloween.
I'm terrible. I'm done.
So that's what's so beautiful about it is these actors have been around for years, especially James Hong, but yeah. They just deliver these incredible performances, and some of their best to this day. This is Michelle Yeoh's best performance to this day. I'll stand behind that, and she's been in this industry for 20 plus years now.
I know. I think I'd go to say it's all of theirs. You know what I mean? Like maybe
not Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm the Halloween
stand.
The
main three. I would
right.
say.
Yeah.
Top notch, man. Like I sincerely do think this. I sincerely think it's gonna get Best Picture. It's that or I don't know.
Let's for a while. So yeah, we'll talk about that. I've say about that, but we're not going to. So make sure you come back for that episode. Like I said, it'll be the week before the Oscars, so I believe that's the last week of February.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We should try and do that. We should try and see all the Oscar noms for Best Picture.
Oh yeah, no, dude, we're gonna do all nominations. We're gonna do every single nomination. We're gonna go through and kind of speed run it and go through each person get nominated. It's gonna be a long episode. We might even just dedicate the entire episode to that. You know what I mean? Because it'll be so long going. There's so many categories, dude, that we have to go through, and we'll give our take on each movie, and we'll try to watch all the movies that are nominated and all performances as well, which is gonna be tough, but we'll try to get to it for sure. We'll figure it out. But especially that one Irish one, dude. With Colin Farrell, right? Yeah, it looks crazy. I love Colin Farrell too. He's unreal, so I can't wait. I need to watch that. But
I was saying, two of the guys that were supporting leads, they both got nominated.
So it's basically everything everywhere all at once, but just the Irish version. Yeah, exactly. The more serious version. I think actually I might like that movie more than this one because it feels like it has more of a
comedy.
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. It gives also
Let me
such a
look
like
it up.
serious
Could be
tone,
wrong.
bro. Look
That's
look
what
at
I
the
thought,
poster
too, but
and those little clips. It's so serious, and it's Colin Farrell.
That's what I thought. But
Colin
then
Farrell
I saw
does
one
comedy?
clip. Yeah, he was making this freaking joke.
That's
Hold on,
funny.
I'm looking it up. It's a drama comedy.
Drama comedy. See, that works because it's only two genres. Anyway, I'll shut up. But no, so that's pretty much everything we wanted to say. We've been talking about this movie for like 40 minutes, but it's gonna be a long little clip I got to post on YouTube, but it's gonna be great. And this right here shows how passionate we both are about this movie, or at least I am. I wasn't as interested in The Whale, so I didn't have a lot to say. But this movie,
I won't lie. This movie has me.
Yeah.
I would say Brendan Fraser's performance sits up here with the movie for me, but everything else is like boom.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this movie blows. No offense, blows it out of the water.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not even close, in my opinion.
And I think one last comment on this.
Yep.
The editing, I think deserves. Absolutely deserves the nom.
Every technical part was unbelievable. The Daniels, man, those two guys.
I'm a big mirror shot dude. I don't know if
oh my god, that's one thing I want to talk about.
Mirror shot.
Jesus, when she makes a decision, you see the three different verses.
Dude.
Bro, oh my god, dude, I got like a movie boner. It was amazing. So yeah, that's no, dude, it was amazing. So you need to watch more of the Daniels movies, bro. I'm serious. After this, I'll give you some movies. They've had a couple really good ones. They're so unique. They never do like remakes. It's always a unique take, bro. So you need to, if you enjoyed like their editing and directing style, dude, you need to watch some of that stuff. It's unreal. This is not my first movie with them. They're insanely talented, and I didn't even know they were directing until after I watched the movie. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I see some of the similarities.
Makes more sense.
Just a little bit. Open your door. Okay. So it messed me up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's do our final ratings, bro. Let's do our ratings real quick. You go first. Or do you want me to go first?
You.
Okay. I'm going to give this movie, if the pacing, or not the pacing, I keep saying pacing because it affected the pacing. If the tone was on point, this movie is probably a 9.6 for me. But it wasn't there. It's an 8. Give me a second. Let me process this. It's probably an 8.8 for me. I'm gonna give it an 8.8, almost an A+. It's an A for me, an A movie, almost an A+. It's, or 8.8 would be a B+. So I'm just, there you go. That's how dumb I am. There's a little bit of my IQ showing. So it's a B+, really high B+, almost an A movie. I feel like it is an A movie though, but you know what I mean. It's an A movie, but an 8.8. I'm not gonna let those correlate. That's just crap. So 8.8 out of 10. Like I said, dude, if it had the right tone, I would have felt emotions more. It would be an 9.7, 9.6, because it was so beautiful. Bumping it up to an 8.9. We're going 8.9. 8.9 out of 10. The more I talk about it, the more I think. Yeah.
Because everyone who's watching on YouTube is going to see my face. 9.6 was my rating.
Oh, for real?
Like, 9.6, I went.
Oh, dude, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. So see, we at least we feel the same way.
And that's the funny thing though, because you said literally that's something I enjoyed that you thought was a con. So that's funny that it's a 9.6 for
me.
It's
perfect. So it's exactly, that's hilarious, bro. So we pretty much have the same exact thoughts on the movie, other than the weird tone thing that was going on. But yeah, so 9.6 out of 10 and an 8.9. If you guys haven't
seen it, that's a must-have. Like, must-have in life. You should see it.
One of the best movies in the past 20 years.
It'll change your perspective on things, you know what I mean?
And it's new, it's fresh, it's a new take. So beautiful, beautiful film that I absolutely adore. So everything, everywhere, all at once. If you're watching the clip on YouTube after this, thank you guys so much for watching. And subscribe, like, and all that fun stuff.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.